I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I ask everyone to turn on their microphones, please? Thank you. All right, roll call. No one
Chair
is,
Nelson?
no one is gone, so no one's on
Do we have
the
a
Zoom.
no?
Don't see anyone remote.
Okay, so do you do it or do I do it?
I'd be happy to.
Okay, please do.
Chairman Nelson,
Here.
Member Stewart,
Here.
Member Hensley,
Here.
Member Wilson,
Here.
Member Townsend Smith,
Here.
and all present. Thank you.
All right, so we have a full house and therefore we do not need to seat alternates. Are there any additions, deletions, or amendments to the agenda?
None from staff?
None from staff, okay? Are there any from the committee members? Anybody have any?
None for me. Yes.
All right, so the agenda sits. Approval of the agenda, looking for a motion.
So moved. Second.
Bill moves and Pete seconds. A motion to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Agenda is approved. Public comment. Do we have any members of the public?
We do have one member.
One member of the public?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll read this thing here. Any person may address the committee at this time upon any subject not identified on this agenda, but within the jurisdiction of the main Rainbow Municipal Water District. However, any matter that requires action will be referred to staff for a report and action at a subsequent meeting. As to matters on the agenda, an opportunity will be given to address the committee when the matter is considered. Members of the public may make comments in person by submitting a speaker slip to the board secretary, virtually through virtual or teleconference options, or by submitting an email to Teresa's email address no later than 1 hour prior to the posted start time of the meeting. Comments shall be made in an orderly manner, and profanity, slander, or abusive language which is disruptive to the meeting will not be tolerated. Individuals have a limit of 3 minutes to make comments and will have the opportunity when called upon by the presiding officer. Do we have any requests for comment?
No, sir.
Therese?
No, sir.
Nope. Okay, so we will move on to item 8, approval of minutes. All of you have had an opportunity to look at the minutes that Therese put together. Are there any, does anyone have any concerns or suggested changes to the minutes? If not, I'm looking for a motion to approve.
I so move. Second.
Okay, Pete moves and Bill seconds to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. Minutes are approved. Comments and requests. 9A, GM comments. He's not here right now, right? So there will be no GM comments. Item B, finance manager comments.
I don't have any additional comments besides what's on the agenda today.
Okay, and do any committee members have any comments? I do. I have one. And I'm not sure we have the right people here to answer the question, so I'll just put it out there for at our last committee meeting, we had some conversation about the standards for downsizing meters, the property size standards. And I am just, and there was, and then when it went to the board, they approved a variance for the homeowner that was requesting it. And so I am just curious if there is anything underway to review the land size requirements, limitations for downsizing meters. Anything underway? Anybody know?
We are currently reviewing it and
Alright.
our current policy and seeing what can be modified and something. And Jakes wants to implement something that the board can stand behind and support
Right.
policy, and
Right,
we'll try not to make exceptions.
right.
So
That'd be great because
mhm.
clearly, what was it? Half an acre? An acre was the current standard.
Right. Mhm.
And clearly that was just too small. So I'm hoping that the standard will be raised to larger amount of land to make it more workable.
Right.
Okay, great. Thank you. So that gets us to item 10, presentation and acceptance of annual audit report fiscal year ending June 30, 2025.
Yes, thank you. And we also today have our auditor from LSL. He will be presenting highlights and just going over, and will give you answers for any questions that you have. And I wanted to let you know that our preliminary audit has been completed in May, and then the final audit field work was completed in September. And it went very smoothly, and we didn't have any issues come up during audit. Auditors did give us unmodified clean opinion for our audit reports and our financial statements for fiscal year June 30, 2025. That means our financial statements are in compliance with GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, and with all the GASB standards, generally accepted the governmental standards. And I would like to thank our staff for providing fast responses to any of auditor questions. It was a nice collaboration between all the departments, and I'm really proud of our work, and then staying on schedule and getting the audit done before the fiscal year end. As per GFOA, in order to submit for award, we do have to submit no longer than 6 months after the fiscal year end, which will be by December 31st. So, and we are on track for that.
Okay.
And we have Stephen Barrett Warnick from LSL, and
Yes,
I'll turn to him.
great. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
I was just going to say we really appreciate you guys inviting us to present to you today. And maybe right out of the gate, we'd like to second Constantine's thank you to the staff and Constantine himself. An audit is a tremendous amount of work, and we were actually very impressed with Constantine's performance. We know that this is his first year doing the audit with us as the new finance director, and he did very well. And things went very, very well for us. Grateful for him, grateful for your staff and for their cooperation. I'll just briefly share here. Please let me know if my sharing is not working. Or if I can resize as well, if that's helpful. But I just wanted to point out just a handful of things in the financial statements themselves. Is we typically, as we present to boards, the first thing we point everyone to is the opinion letter. The PDF copy that I have here has this on page 5. It's going to be very early in the document. If you have a hard copy there, it's labeled Independent Auditor's Report at the top. And we like to point that out. Constantine had already mentioned it, but you're receiving an unqualified opinion. We're pleased to report that. That's the best opinion you can have. It's exactly what you want. It's why you get an audit. And that's kind of what's stated there in the opinion paragraph at the top of that letter. As you'll note, the report is currently still in draft form, where Constantine is providing us with, there's a transmittal letter and a section we call the management's discussion and analysis, and then also some statistical items that we will add to this week. And I think that we're on track. Our goal is to have this issued and final, I believe, by the 21st of this month. I might have that day a little bit wrong, but prior to Thanksgiving, certainly. And as Constantine mentioned, that's also with the anticipation to be able to submit that for the GFOA award prior to December 31st. So everything is on track and as expected there. As we do our audit, we really, your management and staff are responsible for these statements ultimately, and also for the policies and controls that we look at. As auditors, we come in and assess what's been done, and then provide an opinion about whether or not it's all in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles and governmental auditing standards, and that's where our opinion comes from. So, but as mentioned, pleased to report that it is a clean opinion. If we did have issues or concerns with either serious disagreements with Constantine about accounting issues or serious delays or things along those lines, we would certainly report that to you here at this time, but we don't have anything like that to report. We will make a couple of recommendations to Constantine and his staff. We work so closely in the books that we've got a handful of things that we'll point out to him that might be good for future audits, but definitely pleased to report clean opinion and all went as we had hoped and expected in the audit. I'm happy to turn the time over to any questions or to focus on any specifics that there might be.
Anybody have any comments?
Clean opinion is very nice.
Well,
A clean opinion is very nice.
yes,
It's not always easy to get.
Is this the first time that we've had an audit where at this stage there is nothing recommended by the auditor? Do you know?
Well, I know last year there was clean opinion, but there was a finding on depreciation that they had to adjust the beginning balance, readjust. So, but this time there's nothing.
So this is the first time we've had a truly clean audit out of the gate?
We do have a couple of recommendations that we probably will be giving, but still absolutely, and really more along the lines of best practices and things. And as we like to provide some feedback as we do the audit, just so Constantine kind of continues to have things to improve. But absolutely a clean opinion. Yes, we will have some recommendation though.
So what are we being asked to do here? To recommend that we go to the board?
We recommend to go to the board. Any additional comments that you would like us to include at the board meeting and to accept and file. Mhm.
So is there, if there are no comments, is there a motion on this item?
Would it be appropriate to ask what those recommendations of the auditor are at this point before we?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, no, I'm happy to discuss that. I think that a couple of things there, as we worked through fixed assets with Constantine, we had just a couple of items that there was one smaller beginning balance that was adjusted this year related to fixed assets. And I think that we just had as we were working through that process together, I think that we were doing some adjustments to get everything trued up. And really our recommendation, I think, to Constantine is going to be that portion of his close happens just a little bit earlier. I don't know that it wasn't that it was terribly delinquent or anything like that, but I think that as he was coordinating with us, we thought that some of those things maybe could have happened a little bit sooner in the season, but him going through it for the first time, I think that it was just kind of part of the learning process of doing this close and seeing how to smoothly kind of put all the pieces together. So I think that's our primary comment.
And I would like to add to that. Currently, our fixed asset are all in Excel, and we don't have it in our as a module in our financial ERP system.
Okay.
So our goal is to record all the assets, all the pump stations that we have, the pipelines, lift stations, and buildings have to be recorded in our system. That way it will be super easy to run. You'll just click and it will automatically calculate depreciation, and the beginning balances will always agree. Right now I had to pull up some Excel spreadsheets from previous CFO and work with them and make sure that they calculate accurately, and especially the depreciation. I paid close attention to that because it was calculated all in Excel and we had the finding last year. So I made sure that it's all accurate and correct, and the manual calculations, and that's why I create like way more work and more hours.
And that is a key factor in our recommendation as well, is that process is manual. And so with doing that process manually, it takes longer. And also there is room for for, although your calculations were very good, there's always room for error when things are done manually, rather than just having the system calculate it. And so I think that that's probably the primary piece of our recommendation as well.
So when you present it to the board, then you would be mentioning what these recommendations are and that your plans to proceed with them, et cetera.
Right. Especially with doing an upgrade to our current system so that it's supposed to work for us, and with all the modules with fixed asset and automatic depreciation. That's something that will be including in the budget of for 27. Mhm.
Okay.
I move that we accept their approach to presenting this to the board.
A second.
Okay, so Pete moves, Patty seconds. And do you have to do a roll call or can we do this by voice?
My voice.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. And it carries. Well done. This is great.
How is that going to make it much easier with these changes to the asset?
Right, yeah. Mhm.
And I think this is probably the earliest that we've had an audit completed in quite a while, which is a good thing.
It's been after the. first
Very good
year.
thing. And so compliments to the staff. Absolutely. Okay, we're going to move to item number 11. Recognition of Government Finance Officers Association Awards for fiscal year 2026 budget and fiscal year 2024 annual comprehensive financial report.
Yes, thank you. And this is really a fun one, and the good news that we got recognized by GFOA, Government Finance Officer Association, and we received 2 awards almost at the same time. One for our excellent budget book that I brought here, and the way it presented, it had all the sections that they were looking for, and the way, in order to get this award, they have 3 different reviewers, and they review each section, and then they would score you from 0 to 3, and then you have to score an average no less than 2 for every section to be compliant and to get an award. And the same for ACFR, which is Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. That one is for fiscal year 2024. That one was completed by Mary before me, and then she submitted for ACFA award. So I do not take credit for that one. But I made sure that it all goes through GFOA, and then we will also get a medallion that we're gonna put on the wall and into our collection. So I believe for budget, we've been receiving 10 years in a row. This is the 10th one. And then for ACFR, we're getting 5th consecutive year. So, and we'll continue getting them. It's really good to show public our transparency, that we follow all the standards, and that's really a focus of GFOA, that you're communicating your financials, your planning and goals clearly and within the standards and comparable with all our other governmental districts and agencies. So really want to thank our staff and all other departments working on this together, and printing the book, all the graphics and pictures. So a lot of work goes into it, and it's a great team effort. So, and
Now, do all the agencies in the state automatically submit their budget and submit information for these awards, or is that just by their election?
It's your choice. It's by election, and that's been practice here at Rainbow to submit for an award. Previously, I worked for an agency. We didn't submit for budget. We were only submitting for financials, audited financial statements. But for a water district, it's really great to show to ratepayers that transparency, that you follow the policy and the providing the budget book and audit financial statements, I think this is perfect, and
Great.
nobody will complain that you're not following the standards or doing something that doing something strange with the ratepayers' money. So all large water districts that I know of, they all submit. Some submit for 3 awards at the same time. So but they have larger accounting staff. Mhm.
So will will receiving these awards be of any benefit to us as we go forward with various financing options for bonds or loans? Does this make any difference?
It does.
It does?
It definitely makes us look better, especially when we have a lot of loans and that all the banks, they do look at if you have audited financial statements in compliance with GAAP and showing that we're in compliance with JFOA, it definitely makes lender's job easier to see and trust into our numbers that they were peer reviewed.
Good.
Mhm.
Is there any money associated with this? Do we win any money?
We have to pay. It's about $400 to apply, plus our staff time. Yeah. I believe the benefit is really the clarity to all the ratepayers and the way how your district look like, and you in transparent and in a good financial standing, and the same thing with lenders too. So
Do we have a sense of how many ratepayers either download this book or come in and pick up this book? How many of these do we give out?
they're available online.
Yeah.
So we could check the viewers. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And how many years in a row have you been able to achieve these rewards?
In my experience, I worked for 7 years, and all 7 years are getting those awards.
And how about here?
Here,
Well-
for budget, we were getting for 10 years, and for audited financial statements, 5 years. So at first, they started the budget book only, and then they added the audited financial statements. I guess because we added more loans to borrow more, and then some banks maybe do require to show that we are in compliance with the government financial standard, with the GFOA. Mhm.
But
So with that kind of record, it'd be very important to achieve it every year going forward as well.
It would be,
Yes.
it would look strange if we just 1 year failed. They would raise questions, what happened? Yeah, what went wrong? And then would look bad on CFO. Yeah.
Well, considering we've gone through a time of the last 3 years where CapEx has been extreme, building new pump stations and
Yeah.
all of the engagements we had to make to convert and basically to repair an aging system as we went about changing water districts, and then the exit fee itself
Yes.
and the financing thereof. I mean, we haven't run through this many dollars in a long, long time. In fact, never. And so it's great that in that period of time where we're financing the new pump stations and the sewer pump station, and we're doing all of that we have a very clean opinion is important.
It's very important.
More important than normal even. And I think that maybe as we put out information to local media, and even the local newspaper, this would be a very worthy item to include, and with some comment about the extraordinary period of time we're in.
Yep.
And everything that's been accomplished through that period of time, which is a lot. So
Yeah.
I think that this is more than just a internal thing. I think this should be noted out there in the community, and we ought to have our fantastic PR folks put together a great article about this.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So who's gonna call Village News?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure Amanda Weber's on that. But Ahmed was able to look up, just in November, there's been 66 downloads
Okay.
to the book, so
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah.
too. That's
Nice.
abnormal.
people are interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. So congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Great.
I think we're all very proud of what you guys have accomplished with this. Thank you. And we will move on to item number 12. Pass-through wastewater rate adjustment due to increased operational and capital improvement charges from the city of Oceanside.
All right. Yes, thank you. And I prepared presentation on this item, and we'll go over and we'll show our calculations of actuals and what was budgeted, and the invoices that we are receiving currently, they're higher of what been originally planned by the city of Oceanside. And on this first slide, you can see that we budgeted for 1.7 million, and this is for operation and maintenance that we're paying to city of Oceanside to do a wastewater treatment. We don't have our own wastewater treatment. We only have a collection system for all the wastewater, and we're sending it all through one pipe to city of Oceanside to process, and then to send it to land outfall or to ocean outfall. And then you see that actuals came in at 1.9, close almost 2 million, which shows a 16% increase year over year comparing to fiscal year 25. So this is how it works with budgeting for the wastewater treatment. At first, they base their numbers on a prior fiscal year when they create the budget in May. They don't have audited numbers for fiscal year 25. And then we, of course, requested all the details of the bill and how do they come up with this calculation. They provided us that our district at first were 32% of the total flow of the city and the fiscal 24, and that's how they based the numbers. And then when they got audited numbers for fiscal year 25, as of June 30, 2025, they saw that we are sending 38% of their total wastewater treatment flow. So what they're saying is that our flow increased, but their total flow pretty much remained the same. So we are picking up the larger portion of their total budget of the year. They also did internal cost study and then I questioned that because we looked at their budget to actuals, and their payroll went up year over year, close to 20% of their salaries. And I questioned because it's higher than COLA plus merit. They said that they did a citywide labor cost study, and so some of them, on average, received an increase in their pay. They're saying they didn't receive pay or review their cost in a while, so their cost increase in our portion of the budget flow increase at the same time. So that's why we're getting a higher bill right now. All right, next slide, please. With this, we do have a pass-through rate that will be in compliance with Prop 218. So we will need to increase by $3.92 per EDU per month, which will raise cost from $85.01 to $88.93, or it will be an additional 4.6%. Next slide, please. So this will help us to cover the gap in the revenue. And as you can see, we did comparison, and we are still being competitive compared to our neighbor districts who are doing wastewater treatment. We're still cheaper than Fallbrook or Valley Center. And we're about right in the middle. And still, even with this increase, we are not very expensive in our wastewater treatment. So that's what we wanted to show.
And
with
so
this.
all of the others
Mhm.
on that list have their own treatment facilities, don't they?
Yes,
Yeah,
Fallbrook
we're the only
does.
ones that contract for it. And yet our rate is kind of in the middle, which isn't bad. But we didn't have to build a sewage
It's
treatment
with-
plant.
With
And-
our own operations, we are keeping it on a lower end.
And this is based on the new rate, the new rates.
This is the new rate with 88.93 is with the extra $3.92. Yes, we're still in the middle. And we have 5,900 EDUs. So all the costs that are required to be paid are spread over 5,900 customers. Just
Constantine,
keep in mind.
as Peter Sellers said when he played Inspector Clouseau in the Pink Panther series, I am a little bit confused. I am confused.
Sure.
How, I'm just looking at the overall expenses of the wastewater program
Mhm.
and I'm trying to get a sense of what percentage, what portion of our overall wastewater expenses does the Oceanside piece take? Cover?
Thank you for that question.
Yeah.
You're jumping ahead. I have a slide on that.
Okay, all right.
And I will show you
'Cause I'm looking
exactly.
For context, that's what I'm looking.
Yes, perfect.
Context, okay,
So we have similar thinking, and
Okay,
I thought
alright.
that I will put this slide together to
good.
show. Please, next slide. And as you can see here on our right side, we have Oceanside expense. So this is the actual, the one that close to 2 million. And you can see our total revenue is without the CAP grant is a little over 6 million. So they make up 2 million plus they also will send us invoice for their capital CAP program. That's 415,000. We didn't receive that invoice yet, but they're saying that this year that's what's upcoming. Then the total will be 2.5 million that we're paying them out of our total 6 million budget. So it's almost, so it's about 40%. That's what they make up of our total budget. Even as you can see, our own CAP is being offset by CAP grant. So if we don't receive this grant, we're not going to do the CAP project. And our own labor and O&M is relatively low, and we are trying to not, this increase is not from our side, and then our labor and O&M year over year stays pretty much flat on the wastewater side. That's why the increases that we see, they're only coming from the treatment itself, not from our operations or collections. As you can see, we do have one loan that we have to pay per year. It's going to be 663,000. It makes up a small portion
What's
of the
it for?
budget. So we have borrowed for lift station that we had to build.
Okay, all right.
Thoroughbred,
The thoroughbred lift station?
that was a cost overrun on Thoroughbred.
I don't, there wasn't, we didn't-
It was within budget.
yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know what the, Constantine, do you have more information on what the actual debt is for?
Yeah.
I believe it was on the Thoroughbred lift station. And then it was, I can look up into that.
Yeah, we
and
need,
then
yeah,
get
because when
more.
that notice of completion was filed, it was within budget, so we can
Never
look into
mind.
that.
Never mind, keep going.
Keep what's
And-
wrong, you're right.
I know there was one project that we borrowed for it, and then I believe it's over 10 years. But what exactly the project, we can check that.
We will check.
Yes. Chad. Okay, next slide, please. Summary and recommendation, implement pass-through adjustment of $392 per EDU per month. We will need to issue a newsletter that will be 30 days in advance. And since it needs to go to the board for review and approval on December 9, so we're estimating that this will go in effect on February 1st, 2026. And the purpose is to recover Oceanside's increase in operational and CP costs. And we recommend a knowledge receipt and record authorization for adopted rate study to maintain the, and that's in compliance of Prop 218 and the district rate policy. Any questions? And this was my last slide.
Was any of this a surprise to us? That this amount would go up by 16%? Did this,
It was a surprise to us.
it was a surprise to us?
I would like to add that at the end of each calendar year, City of Oceanside reconciles of our flow. They have actual flow, and this is just a budgeted number based on our previous flow. And if our meters will show that we're actually sending them less flow, then they will send us a refund. And we did get a refund in prior years. And what they will do, they will apply a credit to our first bill of the month, like July, when they send us the July of 2026, it will be offset by a credit. And we reviewed with operations and with engineering, we're expecting the credit that our flow will reduce.
Can I ask you why? With all the development going in, why would you expect a decrease?
I believe that that was when we were looking at our meter. So that was maybe a year off. There was a strange increase of the flow that we were sending them in fiscal year 2025. So it was unusually high flow, and it could be 1 year off compared to
Constantine,
prior
can I
years.
jump in on that one?
Yes, please.
So they had changed the flow meters. The prior one had completely gone bad. And when they installed the new flow meter, it was showing higher than average volume, and we assumed that that was because that was the correct one. Yet when we completely dismantled the new flow meter that's at Stallion because there's a new development for Oceanside, and for specific reasons we needed to move ours back to where our gravity main is. And that one is showing lower flow, basically what we had in prior years. So we're expecting that the flows will be lower, and that will probably get a refund.
We still need to get together with the Oceanside, with their finance manager and their GM. Jake is planning the meeting with them to discuss the wrong meter readings, but we do believe that they're a little on the higher side what we actually send. So if we're able to negotiate that, then we can get a credit.
Going how far back?
I believe it's just for the fiscal year 25. That's where it looks, the numbers look weird, that they're way higher than originally. Even we calculated all the developments that's going on, it could not have contributed that much. We do see gradual increase, and then 1 year was higher. And then City of Oceanside, they did have all new finance team as well. They had a rotation in their team, and then they started to review and relook all the numbers for us. And then they just based the current bills on the current readings as of June 30, 2025, which could have been inaccurate.
And Constantine, we're scheduled to take this action to the December board meeting, is that correct?
Correct.
And then it would go into effect on February 1st, 2026.
Yes.
Got it. So that's what we're asking the committee is, when we take it to the board, the committee's recommendation.
This pass-through adjustment won't be affected by that rebate. It's just rate. It's what they're charging us.
This is simply a pass-through rate for the rate increase, correct?
Okay.
And it's within the district's existing 218, so there's no more notice
Right.
required on that.
So do we pay them two ways? One is by EDU and the other is by volume?
I can take that. We're charging our customers per EDU, so that's our revenue. And we record our expenses the way we pay to the Oceanside by a flow. We have a flow meter where Oceanside can check how much they will charge us. But when our customers sending their wastewater flow is just per EDU, so it's a flat fee per month. We don't have wastewater flow meters per customers.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
What I'm having a hard time, I'm still confused.
Oh.
I see this little bar chart where it shows the Oceanside CIP and the Oceanside O&M. I see that. But what I'm not getting is, for example, what is our current monthly sewer charge? That's not shown here anywhere. And I'm guessing that we are going up to $94.97. Is that right?
We're going up to 88.93 per EDU.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read the wrong column. Okay, we're going to 88.93.
From
What is
80
it now?
85.01.
So
4 point something, huh?
what,
Yes.
4.6%.
Huh?
4.6%.
so the 16% increase in the Oceanside charge is filtering down to a 4% increase in the overall rate.
That is correct.
That
I
is
think it would be
correct.
helpful if you somehow included a chart or a graph
Right.
that showed that, so that the board does not walk away as I was thinking we're looking at a 16% increase
Oh,
in the rate. Now, maybe some other people don't get quite as confused as I do, but it just strikes me that would be helpful to show that.
Okay.
Because that is actually not a very large rate increase,
Correct.
4%.
mm-hmm.
And I think that's because our burn rate with Oceanside is a relatively small amount of our total burn rate on wastewater, right?
Right.
And that's why when you knock it down, that's why it becomes 4%.
Right.
So if I were you, I would just a thought.
We can add that to
Mhm.
the staff report going to the board. An additional chart or graph.
88.93. So a regular home has how many EDUs? One, two,
EDU is a
one.
regular home.
And it doesn't matter if there are 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, or 5 people living in that home?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
no.
Okay. And so the wastewater bill that I would receive if I was in the wastewater system would be per month 88.93. That's the total amount I would be paying, right?
Right.
Okay.
And per year, that's a $47 increase compared to current rates.
Okay.
Mhm.
What would cause me to be a 2 or a 3 EDU property?
We base that on
And
the
then-
square footage of the dwelling.
Square footage of the dwelling.
Correct.
So if I had a 5,000 square foot house, I might have more than one EDU.
I can pull up our actual, would you like me to pull it up?
Yeah,
Sure.
that'd be interesting.
Okay, give me one moment, please.
I think that'd be interesting.
You're just all over it here, Chad. I like this.
What's that?
You're just all over it. I like it.
I am all over it. That's why I bring the MacBook that the IT department gives me.
I have an email. Oh, maybe it's right here. I know where it is. No, I got it. It's an email from Josh, but I re-forwarded it today, but I have it saved to my desktop. Here it is.
Oh, so one EDU is up to 2,000 square feet. If you have 5,000, then that would be two EDUs. They're up to 6,000 square feet.
2,000 to 6,000 is two.
No, from
Five.
2,000 to 3,000 is 1.2, and then from
Oh.
3,000 to 4.5, 1.5 EDU,
Okay.
and then from 4.5 to 6 is 2 EDU. So if you have a large house, 5,000 square feet, then
And then
it's
over that,
EDU.
we calculate on a case-by-case basis, correct?
Correct. That would be case by case.
And then you have commercial applications like hotels, restaurants, bars, clothing stores, you name it, they all have.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are all case by case. We have a sewer service study prepared by the architect and the civil engineer. We look at fixture count, square footages, purpose of the room, land use, all of those things are taken into account.
And now I'm getting a little off base, so you just reel me back if you need to. Every 2 days, I drive by the Montserrat Winery
Mhm.
and I see massive numbers of cars in the parking lot.
Mhm.
And my recollection is that the EDU for that place was actually relatively small. Have we revisited that?
That's a great question. You are getting
Yeah.
off topic, but that's a great question. So when we negotiated that sewer service agreement with that developer, we actually did it on their occupancy. The developer wanted to do it by the number of tables and seats they would be allowed. And nope, we're going to do it with what the fire marshal said, you can have occupancy. So that's how we based that off of. The existing golf course had several EDUs on record. They were able to merge all those parcel APNs into a single parcel. And Amanda Constant would have these numbers off hand exactly, but they did have to purchase some additional EDUs when we did that sewer service study with them. Our senior inspector and our wastewater supervisor go out there frequently to ensure that everything is still in compliance and that they're not exceeding anything. And we do that throughout the district. We do it at the Calavie Spa, Montserrat Winery, anywhere that we know of active construction going on.
Okay.
So
All
yeah,
right.
they're well within their new building that they're building in the back. We triple checked that fell within the existing sewer service agreement, and it does.
Okay, I'll stop now.
There you go.
And Robert added, we have smart covers that monitors the flow from the winery.
We have what?
Smart covers that monitor the flow in the winery.
Now we're getting like way into the weeds,
Mhm.
or the sewer trenches, or whatever we want to call it.
Okay, so we're basically proposing to the board that they adopt a 4% overall rate increase
4.6.
to cover the 16% increase in our expense flow for the Oceanside water treatment program, right?
I'd like to remind, so on the July 1, 2025, we increased 13% already, and that's an additional 4.6 to the 13%. And that's maybe where you will arrive at the 16%.
Mm.
I arrived at 16% because your chart
That's right.
showed 16%.
Right. So the chart showing year over year, we're comparing to June 30th, 2025. And on July 1, 2025, we already increased our rates by 13%. And that's where we have current rate at 85.01. That's with 13% on the July 1. And right now we're asking for an additional 4.6 to the 13 in order to offset the total of 16.2%.
Did we tell the ratepayers this was going to happen?
We have, well, it's a pass-through from Oceanside, and then we'll issue a newsletter
Yeah.
that will be 30 days in advance
That's
before
not
this
my- that's not my
increase.
point. When we did the rate increase in July,
Mhm.
did we give the ratepayers an indication that there may be another
Oh.
rate bump once we get the Oceanside situation sorted out?
I think it goes back to this came as a surprise.
What?
This goes back to your original question. Was this a surprise to the district? So we did not indicate, to my knowledge, that
Yeah.
an additional rate would be coming.
Okay, all right. So this will be a surprise to our ratepayers.
Right,
Good.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank
And
you.
I do think this all goes back to the terrible agreement. It's terrible in some ways and not terrible in others, but the terrible agreement that was made way back when when this small district decided to provide wastewater service, and the only available system to handle it was Oceanside. I say it's a terrible agreement. It's good that they do it and that we're in the middle cost wise still by ADU. What's not good is that Oceanside had, to my knowledge, reading the language of the agreement years ago, basically can set their rate anywhere they want.
That's what I'm thinking.
There is no cap on it. There is no cost of living on it or, current cost on it. It is what they have. I might say that they have been reasonable over time, but that was the judgment, our judgment looking at it 6 or 7 years ago. I don't know whether that would still be the case now, but we really don't have that agreement. It might be wise to sit down with them and renegotiate it, but then it might not.
Yeah.
I would actually default that kind of a judgment to
Be up to Jake, yeah.
to our GM, our board, to consider what would happen. The
Okay.
good and the bad if that were done, but it hasn't been done.
Okay.
So far as I know. And that's contributes to this, so they can raise it when they need to and want to.
I'm taking notes to pass to Jake.
And we don't have any alternative candidates to provide this service, right?
That's correct.
So specifically because all the lines go to their treatment plant.
Well, I
And
mean,
trying to get them
Well,
somewhere
what
else.
about
Fallbrook has a plant, but
Fallbrook?
it's,
Yeah.
but it's way down,
I
it's way
asked,
up north,
I
right?
asked Jake, he
It's in-
said we'll have to pump up
Yeah, we have
an
to pump it
electricity
way up
cost.
to get to it.
It will not be,
Prohibitive.
and then we will still need an ocean outfall, which still in Oceanside.
Yeah.
Cannot avoid it.
And then, as I recall, there's somebody down south that, again, you'd have to build a line and pump it, but those are very expensive options, I
Yeah,
think.
I
And
think.
we have a line that's in situ now on North River Road that goes to Oceanside and okay,
Which
all right.
will need upsizing soon,
Yep.
and
Well, the other thing is that they don't mind having our volume because they're reprocessing this water. They're tertiary treating it back to near, if not potable, and certainly using it, selling it as recycled water. And so, we actually took a look at that very briefly. Would it be to our advantage? The problem is, even though our flows are starting to become substantial,
Mhm.
trying to put in a processing plant that would take that water back all the way to near potable or to recycle water, we can't deliver it. We don't have a system. Our district is huge. That would only go to one point. And now, how do you develop at this late point, a system that would distribute it all out to all of these large parcels that we have in our district? And it really doesn't make any financial sense, unfortunately. So
We are where we are.
that's why
We
we
are
are
where we are.
where we are.
Okay. And in that case, we'll move on to item number 13.
I think, are we looking for a motion and a recommendation from the committee on this one?
to the board. Thank
Oh,
you.
I
yes.
would make a motion based on page 57. The summary and recommendation that we recommend the pass-through adjustment of $3.92 per EDU per
Nice.
month, effective February 1st, 2026, in order to recover Oceanside's increased operational CIP costs and charges. Second, and further.
Okay, so we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Pete seconds. Okay, so Bill moved and Pete second, and all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Ayes have it. We are now ready to move on to item number 13, reviewing the monthly finance packet.
Right, thank you. Some highlights. So this is as of September, end of September, and it's basically our Q1. We are at close to 4,000 acre feet of sales. We are right on budget for the whole fiscal year as we are moving on. And To remind you, on the Q1 water sales, we're usually at about 40% of total sales for the year. So we are front loaded on sales and in those 3 months of summer. So those are important 3 months for us on our sales, and we're estimating we'll be close to budget at 11,000. If we'll continue getting more rain, then we might be a little bit lower. And for every 1,000 acre feet below the budget, we'll be losing about $1 million in the revenue. So hopefully that will not happen, but so far we are going right on budget. Next, on the wastewater highlight, so because of the bills that we're recording for the 3 months from the City of Oceanside, we do see a negative negative operating revenue, and that's why we need an increase. Last year, we had a negative operating revenue on the wastewater side already, and our reserves on the wastewater fund are low. We cannot afford having second year of a negative operating revenue. The way it will be very difficult to get any loans like SRF loan that we're pursuing right now, or capital side that we'll be looking at, if we're able to have a positive or at least close to zero revenue year over year. So just wanted to highlight that on the wastewater side. On the treasury report, we can see that it decreased a little bit compared to August. From 18.7 was in August, and as of end of September, it's 17.9 million. It's actually a good number because in September we paid a Fowler claim, which is 3.5 million. It hit our bank account in September, and I was actually expecting this our treasury dip even more, but it dipped less than anticipated. That means we are still getting good amount of revenue to offset that large payment for Fowler settlement, which was for Thoroughbred lift station on the wastewater side. Those are highlights on the financials, and then on the customer service phone calls, they're trending down, and they're nothing additional to mention on that. So we don't have many or any month that's
Trending down to what?
amount of complaining calls from customers. They're going down. Like if you look at the graph and compare to October of last year, we had a spike because there was an error in billing, and then you can see how customers react to there's something going on their bill. Then we'll get close to 1,500 calls, and then right now they're like 150, which is flat, regular calls without much complaints. So any specific questions?
I got a couple. Yeah, I got a
yes.
couple.
Mhm.
I have another item on which I am confused, and that is the chart on page 71. It is the chart that looks at how much water I think this is how much we are purchasing from our supplier. Is that right?
System demand, correct. Mhm.
It's what we are buying.
This is what we are buying.
Okay,
Mhm.
not what our customers are buying, what we are buying.
What we are buying and not what our customers buying. This is not revenue, it's more of a expense,
Right,
which
right.
is about
I'm with you. Okay, so
Mhm.
is it
Yeah.
is it better or worse that our line is below the 5-year average compared to being above it?
it's worse because we're buying less. That means we're selling less than 5-year average. We had better years, but recently it's been more rain. We still last year was much better, but the year before that, where we sold like less than 10,000 acre feet overall, that was pretty bad year.
Okay.
We're
Two
still
years.
better than that bad year, wet year.
Yeah.
We conservatively budgeted for 11,000 of sales this year, and as you can see on the green line, we right exactly where we budgeted.
And given that we are now in November and there has been no rain, our sales and therefore our demand for water proceeds unabated, right?
Right.
And so this should be a good thing, shouldn't it? This
We should be
a
able to
good thing,
recover.
right?
Yes. And especially if we'll get dry winter, we really need that revenue. That's where we'll be able to recover.
In looking at your reserves chart earlier in the packet, it shows that we are well above the red line,
We are,
right?
we're doing good.
And
Mhm.
so we are clearly selling enough water to generate profit and reserve. And so I'm just trying to understand what this chart is telling me on page 71.
And what's really helping us is that our bill purchases went down compared to when we were with San Diego County Water Authority.
The cost.
And our cost of water went down, and we continue to generate positive energy, positive revenue. And then this is a demand chart, and then it lags 1 month behind compared to when we're gonna sell this water to customers. So the revenue that we're seeing as of September hitting our books, it's 1 month behind of a system demand.
This chart is about volume of water, right? Not the price. This is about the volume,
Volume,
not how much
Mhm.
money we're spending.
correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so even though we have had no rain, water conservation apparently has taken effect to the extent that even without rain, we can't get up to what our volumetric requirements were over a 5-year period.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That is correct.
And so that is not good, is it?
It's not good for us.
Right.
It's good for ag because they probably they switch to drip system or something that they're able to survive on the crop swap program and working, and then they irrigating less. And as you know, 65% of our revenue is from ag, so we are very affected by whatever they're buying. Even our residential revenue is always flat, but then if ag has they have rain, they probably install sensors that will sense the rain and will automatically shut off.
Yeah, I think
and-
Flint, it's not good or bad. It's just the state of the district. It is below the 5-year average. We are selling less water.
Part of it is some groves have been taken out of.
That is also true.
And they continue to be taken out of.
And I think to Constantine's efforts and his successor and Jake's efforts is accurate forecasting. Let's not try and project that sales are going to be high and then fall short of that. It's more of an accurate projection.
Live within your means.
Correct. Yeah,
in other
exactly.
words.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Chad. I think it's important that we're right on budget at this point, and we still able to generate positive revenue. And September Treasury shows that he was able to offset the large payment of 3.5 million on the Fowler claim. So
The chart on page 74, comparative water sales, is 25-26 over?
we're in 25-26 right now.
We're in 25-26 now. So is this chart comparing apples to apples?
Apple to apples. So it's September only. Where
Okay.
were you in last year in 25 in September, in 24 in September, and in 23 in September? And that's can give you an idea of 5-year average. And then you can see it's about on a low end, but not as low as fiscal year 24. And I think September is so important month because we are 40% of our sales for the year. You can see the picture where we're heading. Well, except if we'll get a dry winter or something favorable for us, we'll be able to recover.
So the homes across the street, the streets, the, whatever they are, the KB homes over there on,
On 395?
yeah, 395, and
Mhm.
then all the homes on the other side of 15. Most of that came online in 24, 25 or 23, 24.
Like,
Which one?
Oh, 22, 23.
Yeah.
22, 23?
Yeah, long.
So-
Citro.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
across the way was.
So we had a big bump, some of which we could attribute to those homes coming online.
Not
Not much.
really.
They, their landscaping is very, very, low water requirement.
Yeah.
Everybody's got AstroTurf in their front yards and they have, low water requirement plants. And that's kind of the whole standard the developer set up over there.
Hardly
But
any.
you've got a
trees.
couple thousand homes over there.
Yeah.
No
I-
trees.
Yeah,
I mean, very few.
Mhm.
That's unusual. You look over there, fire was a big concern. And so street trees didn't happen in those subdivisions. So,
Okay, well, I'm just trying to get my head around, we went from 5.5
Mhm.
thousand acre feet down to 3.7 thousand, then back up, something happened. We went back up to 4.4 and now we're down to 4. I just trying to
It's just weather really
Right.
because
Not those two wet
weather.
years, right?
Yeah.
around
yeah,
Mhm.
So that first one was probably a dry year.
Because
Okay.
we are ag driven. Our
23 was a dry.
our largest customers are golf course and groves and nurseries that are really driving revenue. And as soon as they see the rains coming, it's automatically shut off all the irrigation, and it hit us in those months,
Got it.
summer months, and yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right.
As Elvis would say, thank you very much.
I would like to also add that it really pays off having good reserves. We earning good interest on our savings. So as of Q1, we got interest revenue of 224,000, which is a $250,000.
Wow.
And the cool thing about that, it's a non-operating revenue, which you can use for whatever you like. You can offset the rates. You can create a program for low income because it's non-operating. So within the Prop 218, you will not violate to however you like to use those funds. So that's why it really pays off to have savings, and they're in a California asset account, CAMP account, which earns 4.2% return. So on something that's close to 18 million. So I think it's a good thing, and some programs that we can think about and to implement.
The earnings on our surplus shows up in water non-operating revenues. Is that a part of that? Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other comments on the financial packet? If not, we will move on to suggested agenda items for the next meeting.
Constantine, were we gonna suggest to the committee canceling the December meeting?
Yes, I was gonna suggest canceling because it's on Monday on your golf day.
Good,
It's
good.
That's the reason.
Is the board meeting the following day?
a board meeting is the following
Board
day,
meeting is-
and
Strike that from the minute.
Yeah.
Yes.
sorry, and then we have already enough to suggest to the board in order to move forward with this committee. So unless any additional requirements or something you want to bring up, but we're going into a holiday season, and
Yes, that would be fine. I think we're all in agreement that if there's nothing that needs to come to the committee, then there's no need for the committee to meet. So no December 8 meeting.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense to me too.
I will miss all of
We
you,
do
but not that
almost every
much.
year
Mm.
anyway.
Come to the board meeting then.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
Okay, so we're all done? Can't look at the clock. Can't look at the clock.
It is 2:10.
2:10, so that's close to a record, but not quite. We've done this meeting in less than an hour previously, so there we go. All right, thank you all. QED,
you.
let's quit and eat dinner.
Thank you.